All right, so let's continue solving this problem. Welcome back. The first thing I'm going to do is distribute, so that's going to become 2x, and the next will become 6x plus 9. And now to solve, what I'll do first is combine my like terms, so I'm going to move way over to the right. That's going to give me 8x plus 9 equals -1. And now to solve for x, I'm going to start moving stuff over. I'll subtract 9 first. That gives me, excuse me, 8x equals -10. And now I'll divide, and you can write your answer a bunch of different ways. You can write it as -10/8. You can simplify it. You can take a 2 out and make it -5/4. You can write it as a decimal. That's up to you, -1.25. So that is the answer for number 7. All right, so this is us simplifying exponents. So we did a few warm-ups here, and the idea was to make our houses, but and sometimes we have parentheses. So when we wrote on the back of our notes, the first thing for number 8 is that we would look for parentheses, which I don't see any. Then the second step I said we would do is make houses. And as we make our houses, if there are any negative exponents, we're going to move them. So in the left side, the first house, I will just put the regular numbers of 3 and 2, which are multiplying. And then in the second house, I will put the e's, e to the 11. And then I told you if you have any negative exponents to move it. So I will move this one down to the bottom. And now what we're going to do is just clean up each house. So in this first house, 3 times 2 is 6. In the second house, I should subtract those exponents, so I get e to the 9th, and since more e's are on the top to start with, that is where they will remain. So there's the answer for 8. On number 9, I do have parentheses, so I'll start with that. Distribute, it goes to the 3 and to the 2's exponent of 1. So this becomes 2 to the 2nd power, which if you'd rather just write 4, you can write 4. And then it becomes e to the 6th power, and then we still have this other stuff. And now I'm going to make my houses. One house will be for the numbers, so I'll put 4 and 6 in one house, and e to the 6th and e to the 1/2 is another house. And now I'm just going to clean up each house. So my first house, that becomes 24, and then 6 plus 1/2 is 6.5. So just real quick, kind of off to the side here, 6.5, we don't want to write it like this, but remember, you could do this that you learned in middle school. 2 times 6 is 12. Add one more, and that's 13 halves. So it'll be e to the 13 halves, joining the 24. All right, number 10. This is where you need your calculator. So do you have your calculator out? Let's see. I had mine. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Let's hold on. So we have our 3 formulas, and we numbered them. 1, which is just regular exponential growth and decay. I will not see any mention of the word compound. We have formula 2, which is compound daily, quarterly, semi-annually. And then I have formula 3, which is compound continuously. So number 10, your mom buys a new Subaru Outback for $35,324. The car depreciates at 16% per year. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write a model. So since I do not see the word compound, I will be using the first formula, and the model is going to be y equals the original amount, and then since it's depreciating, I'll do 1 minus 16% as a decimal to the x power. So that's the model. And B, now I'm going to answer the question and use the model. So after how many years will your mom's car be worth $20,000? So x is time. This is going to be going in for $20,000. So I'm going to do that. And since we don't know how to solve for an exponent right now, this will be my y1, and this will be my y2. So I'm going to switch over to the graphing calculator, just one moment. So I am in the y equals button, and then for y1, I'm going to put 20,000. Make sure you get all your zeros, and then, whoops. And then in y2, I'm going to put the other part. So hold on, I just lost 35 and 324 parentheses, and then we'll do 1 minus 0.16, and then hit your, whoops, I didn't hit the, and then I will close my parentheses, and now I will hit the exponent button, and I will put in the x button, okay? All right, so for Windows, somebody brought up in another class Zoom Fit. You can try Zoom Fit. The idea is we just want to see where these two meet. I want you guys to start thinking about the window. So since X is my unknown and X is time, for a car, the least amount a car will be used for is zero time, and I don't think a car is going to go much further than 15 years. Then I got my X scale, skip that. I don't know why this isn't moving, just one moment. So now I'm on my Y min. The least amount the car will ever be is 0, and the most the car will ever be is that original price of the car, which was that $35,324. So that's what I'll put in now. 35324. Okay, so now I'm going to hit graph. Well, I'm going to hit graph. I don't know why I keep switching to this other option. All right, so there's the shape. So now I'm going to see where these meet. So second, trace. I'm going to choose intersect and then just hit enter 3 times. And this is time. It does say, I can see from here that we're going to be rounding to the nearest thousands. So 3.263 as far as my answer goes. So let's go back to here. And the answer was, one more time, 3.263 years. And we should all have the same answer. You have to be exact as mine. All right, next one, number 11. So on number 11, Molly has $1,000. Evaluate each of the following. So I am not asking for the model on any of these. You just need to know the formula and you can put everything in. So on the first problem, she's going to invest her money at 1.4% compounded, continually compounded. That's number 3, and she's going to take it out after 5 years. So use formula 3, and it's going to be Y equals the initial amount, so $1,000. And then E, which is the second ln on your calculator. Here's my rate as a decimal, 0.014, and then times 5. That's a little times sign. So go to your calculator, and I'm going to go back to the main screen and just type that in. Okay. So 1,000. I recommend you use the second ln button for your E, and it's 0.014 times 5. This keeps everything as the exponent It starts parentheses if you have the older operating system, and in this operating system, it just builds everything into the exponent. So now I'm going to hit enter, and it's money. So I will have $1,072, and it was 51 cents. All right, next one. This time she is going to be putting the money in, and it's going to be compounded monthly, and she will take it out after 5 years. So this is formula number 2. So it's going to be Y equals the initial amount. So again, $1,000. It's going to be 1 plus my rate. This time it's 0.031 as a decimal. Monthly means my N would be 12, and then the 12 appears again here, and after 5 years, I would do this times 5. So I'm going to go back to the calculator, to the main screen, and I'm going to type in 1,000, parentheses, just type it in left to right. And now my exponent raises it. If yours shows the little exponent shape, that caret or mountain key, you either need to change 12 times 5 and just over here make it 60. Or when you type in 12 times 5, you will need to wrap it in parentheses. All right. So I will just do what I would suggest for all of you is just change it into 60, hit enter. It's money. So again, we're going to round to the nearest hundredths, so $1,167.42. There's one answer, there's another answer, and then our final situation where they just mentioned that she earns 2% interest and she's going to take it out after 5 years. There's no compound, so this is the first formula. So it's Y equals 1,000 again, 1 plus this rate, which is 0.02, and then for 5 years. So going back to the calculator, 1,000, and then in parentheses 1 plus 0.02, and then to the 5th power. And again, money, it'll be $1,104.08. And again, all these amounts are exact. Yours should not be any different than mine. All right, let's go to number 12. All right, so Miss Valentine, she is now Mrs. Lloyd, got a new credit card in the mail and immediately went online to buy an $8,000 wedding dress because she got married last year. Assume that her credit card company charges 24.5% interest compounded continually, and assume that Miss Valentine is broke and can't make payments on her dress right now. So we're going to write the model first. So they do mention compounded continuously, so I'll be using the third formula. So here's the model. It's going to be y equals her dress, so 8,000, and then E, and then my rate is 0.245 as a decimal to the x or t power. So I'll use t because that's what the PERT formula says. Now, how much will she owe in a year and a half after she gets married? So I'm going to use my model and keep writing, and then in for t, I will put 1.5. So again, you can go to your calculator now. And I'm going to just be on the main screen, and I'm going to do 8,000 second ln for the E. It does the exponent, so I can just do 0.245 times 1.5. In the old operating systems, this exponent is being wrapped in parentheses, so you should close it now. I'm going to hit enter, and she will have to pay $11,552.96. After 1 year, that's an expensive wedding dress. All right, I am going to be starting a new video for this next section because I only have a few minutes left, so you'll have to pick back up.